Major Sony news, CEO confirms unreleased Stratagem, and much more. All in today's video, Helldivers, so grab your liberty and let's dive right into the video. Before we hop into everything, there's another new faction and it's kind of a funny one. Yes, these guys, the yellow beaners, whatever that means. Or in my eyes, the minions from Despicable Me. Sign me up, I'll join that goofy ass faction. You'd probably see these guys trying to steal the moon. Try and steal the moon. Moving on regarding all the updates and news, a member asked Johan how the overall morale is in the studio right now, and with no surprise, it's quite low and justifiable. It's hard, it's a tricky situation. The criticism is valid, but it causes low morale, and low morale causes slow development speed. Talk about negative spiral. So it seems this is the reason why the development has slowed down, but you'd think with this, you'd want to pick yourself back up and fight back and show your community you actually mean business, you know, for managed democracy. Otherwise, where is the democracy for its players? Then again, we are all human, we have feelings, and people seem to forget that behind every fictitious entity, or in simple terms, a game, there are straight up human beings. People, and as they said some time ago, they take mental health very seriously. Some may argue though it's their own fault due to not listening to the players, and I do agree, because balancing, the balancing. And regarding patches, it's not so reassuring at the moment with low morale. I am really hoping they do learn and take all this into consideration, because many of us are still rooting for the game. I am trying, yes guys, I'm trying to stay positive. I am trying. And many would love to play the game, come back to it if progression was better also. Either way, I'm doing my part for managed democracy. Johan has informed us that they want to be accurate with the upcoming updates and wants to see improvements. Yeah, improvements. Let's hope for the best, that's all we can do. Fixing our update accuracy is #1, then text stability to ensure we don't crash the game with updates, then progression. Now with progression being mentioned, maybe they are thinking of more ways to make the game more interesting in regards to the reward system. So maybe more things to do. If it's objectives, armor you can unlock by doing X amount of missions or extracting a certain amount of rare samples. Or maybe he's talking about the overall progression of the studio. I mean, it could just be that. Now onto the future plans. Yes, apparently they are thinking of implementing customizable armor. Yes, it may actually be happening. Johan has revealed the team is working on a colour system for armour, similar to the patterns we have for vehicles. Do you think this is a good idea? Personally, I'd love to mix and match different armour pieces, maybe change the colour up a bit, and if the clan system comes into play that was leaked some time ago, this could introduce new ways for players to roleplay. The team is working on a colour mod system, same as vehicle patterns for armors. I'm guessing the colour, right, we have already unlocked, may be usable on the other armors as well. But the only thing I wonder, right, is how this will all work with the camouflage armor sets. For those ones, will it only be camouflage patterns that can be customizable, or will you be able to swap out, let's say, the helmet for a specific color? Now I'm excited for this because I think it'd be absolutely awesome to show off different variations, simply mixing and matching. Would you like customizable armor? Drop a comment and let me know. Now onto the review cape. Yes, the review cape, because we have been waiting ages. By the time we get it in years to come, Joe Biden may just have a chance at running for president again.
Don't you dare diss me. I will send the Chaos Divers after you, man. Where am I, Ding Dong Jippy?
Yes, Managed Democracy 2024. Super Earth will prevail, Joe. You can't stop us loyalists.
Also, what is the status on blocked regions? Yes, because we need our other Helldivers back in the game. More Helldivers, the better. Saying that, I'd love Xbox to get the game. It would do the world of good for an increased player count. But Sony won't, because it's Sony we are talking about here. and they like to milk everything. Johan responded here saying, I wrote about it earlier. Basically, Review Cape is waiting for region conclusion. Now, some players were not too fond of this answer, and I mean, I understand why. Johan basically said he does not want to release it until the situation is resolved, which makes sense to me. Imagine they just say, F it, release it. That would have a lot of backlash. Cry divers will cry. That would literally cause like a hell of a drama, literally. Because so many people still can't play the game. Honestly, it's understandable. Another player went on to ask similar questions, and if Sony can reverse their decisions. Johan responded and said this, we don't want to release it before it's resolved. The other way around, the final decision if it will be sold in more countries. So they're still trying to see if Helldivers 2 can be sold in more countries, which also means we could be drawing closer to a final statement. And for managed democracy, liberty, the community needs this. One less thing to worry about, set aside and forget about. We have not heard anything about this in some time, so the talks are still going on. I just hope they sort it out soon. So, Sony, pull your finger out your ass for managed democracy, otherwise I will send my 1,000 subscribers after you. Sony, you better watch out. Now on to flying vehicles. This is some bad news, which you can't always expect things to go your way, and even though the data mines for leaks are very accurate, they are bound to change, be scrapped, or misinterpreted. Do you plan to bring flying vehicles to the game, or would that be completely out of the question? I promised the tech lead we would never. A lot of assumptions have been made on that. Hell, I just want ground vehicles. I don't really care much about anything else, in the sky as such. Just a tank or a rover we can use on the ground. Switching things up, the developers were asked about the game crossovers. Yes, this would be sick. I have many ideas from Warhammer, Deep Rock Galactic, Terminator, but all of this would have to make sense with the game's universe, of course. But obviously, it's still a topic of discussion, which is a positive thing. While we are looking to do collabs, I think it's most important that we improve the state of the game and the quality of our updates. Which he's not wrong, quality of the game and balancing should come first. Wouldn't you agree? I think we could all agree on that. Funny enough, Johan is actually a fan of Warhammer, and the most ironic topic all over YouTube at the moment is Space Marine will kill Helldivers 2. So yeah, a bit of a funny one. Before we move on, I will say this though, they are two different games. Like with every new game, there's hype and a huge spike in players. Helldivers did exactly the same thing at launch. Moving along, weapon customizations, yes, Johan hints at this in his response he made. He believes we need upgrades and custom weapons. We did cover this in a previous leak video about weapon parts being data mined. I think we need weapon upgrades and customization to be able to tailor playstyle for advanced divers. Another player asked if he was looking into this, and he responded saying this, yes, we are looking at customization. Well, now it's confirmed, guys. As you can see, maybe we will one day be able to customize our weapons to our own playstyles. I can't wait for that to enter the game. If they listen to the community, managed democracy will be served. Imagine being able to change up the different Helldiver emblems on the capes and the armor. Speaking of weapons, Johan has confirmed one weapon from Helldivers 1 will make a return, the 13th Trident. I think it is in the list of upcoming weapons, but not 100% sure on this. Man, new weapons. That's what we love to see. We want more weapons and more buffs so they don't feel like a goddamn pea shooter. On to a unreleased stratagem, a robot stim backpack that stims any players nearby. I interrupt this video to say, if you enjoy the content, be sure to subscribe for managed democracy. No, not managed communism. Go away, Vlad. No one wants you here, Vlad. Go away. Yeah, go away. You'll also save a child's life from the automatons, so win-win. Johan mentions this here and confirms all of this, guys, so it's nice to see new stratagems being worked on. Pilstead, we once had a backpack that was a robot arm that stimmed anyone nearby. I think we need more support stratagems in general for those that want to play to help with the team. Now, on a related note, Johan revealed they created a prototype for a drone stratagem. He responded to a player and said this, dude, I wanted that for such a long time. Drone controller backpack or something. Maybe a support weapon. An engineer once did a prototype of a UGV bomb stratagem as a test. Was pretty cool, but not as usable as other stuff. Man, I'd love a drone. That'd be literally awesome. I said this for a long time and I'm glad to see it come to light. These guys won't stand a chance. They literally won't stand a chance. If you send them a barrage of drones their way. I actually went ahead and made 2 concepts of this drone stratagem. One is a bit over the top, I'm not gonna lie, and the other one is more realistic. So the first one was a mega drone, which would release small nanite drones to enemies and hover above your position, assisting you. And once it's finished, it would move towards where there was the most targets in one area, and it would set off a nuclear payload. This would be one of those stratagems where you'd expect maybe only 2 uses. The other is more simple, just a drone you can control and fly into an enemy, which has a fast cooldown time. Thank you to all you Helldivers who stayed up until this point. You guys are all legends. I have a very important leak I'll be going over in the next video, so watch out for that one. I have put up the dedicated viewers so far on the channel, so I'm so thankful for your support. Moving on to the community comments, because who doesn't want to have a conversation with a crazy Helldiver? Not me. Montague says, this is seriously one of the least toxic communities that I've ever seen. It is fantastic. Now, I do agree with you. On Reddit, there's obviously a lot of people backing up this game. But on YouTube, on the other hand, it's kind of the opposite. There's just so much negativity. But then again, when is there not, toxicity on YouTube? But on the other hand, in-game, there isn't much of a toxic player base. The missing piece says they really need to bring back the old flame effects. The current ones literally look like PS2 graphics. It's really bad. I agree with you there, bro. I 100% agree with you. Dragon OC, if that's how you say it, Dragon OC says, thank you very much for the video and the positivity. I hope these new features arrive soon. I'm looking forward to the vehicles. I am as well. I cannot wait. Get on top of a rover with a machine gun on top, shredding down bots and bugs. I cannot wait for that. It's going to be sick. Curry says, damn, I want some curry right now. You're making me hungry. A Super Earth loyalist. We need more of you, lad. We need more loyalists on Super Earth. Shauna Gullia, if I say it's Shauna Gullia, that's a bit of a funky name. Appreciate your channel. It takes a lot of effort and time to make the videos you do, and constantly keep up the good work, brother. Cheers, man. I appreciate the kindness. Free liberty for you. Warhammer will be great, but it's not Helldivers, and I can play them both. Test servers should be on Mars, like a weapons testing range. Lord Bathtub says, yeah, that's such a sick name, Lord Bathtub. I still believe the body of Helldivers 2 is wonderful, even if the devs splatter the shittest makeup over it every single time. Better communication, better balancing, all is sorted. That's all it needs, man. I'll literally agree with you though, I do agree with you. John says, finally some positive comments and people who still have faith in the game. I appreciate these divers, and I appreciate you too, my friend. The champion of the people says, thank you Arrowhead for this awesome game. Best game of the year, 1000%. I agree, man. It's been one of my favourite games this year. I used to be a big fan of Call of Duty, and I am still a big fan of Call of Duty, but I haven't actually touched it since February. Since this game's come out, I've not touched it. Pixie Alt says, what's up with those heavy devastators? They aim worse than a stormtrooper. Stinky Nugs, I love this game. I do too. I love this game. Cheesecake and Matcha says, I find it silly when people are overly positive in a tender toxic way. Laugh my ass off. With so much toxic negativity, around Helldivers 2 at the moment, I don't think there's enough positivity. So for me, I will choose toxic positivity over that any day of the week. Oxyurks, if that's how you say it, Oxyurks says, I will also see this game to the very end. If Helldivers has 1 player left, it's me. If Helldivers has 0 players, I have died. I love that comment, man. I love that comment. Man, these comments always crack me up. They literally crack me up. Until next time, go and conquer the galaxy for managed democracy. And I will see you in another video on Helldivers.